Do you realize, ladies, that it has been 1 year since I did my ultra trail run?
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, it was in October of last year. And I know we've all been busy um, and we're recording this in November, but it's been 1 year. And I think about things because I spent that year so focused on that race. And I think sometimes people look at, or I've heard the saying, was the suffering, training, everything you've done worth the effort and the end result? And I want to talk about that for a minute because it just doesn't, that saying doesn't sit right with me a little bit. I don't like the word suffering.
Mm.
And I think sometimes that's how we look at a goal as I have to suffer to get to the end when we are really, yes, was I in pain? Yes, was it uncomfortable? Yes, would I rather been eating cheeseburgers, having tons of beers, and like goofing off? So in that way, is it, do people consider it suffering? Or was it the pain I went through from the climb and the soreness of my body and the exhaustion, suffering? And what if we just said, was the growth worth the effort? Because even though I'm not trained for another race, not sure if I'll do another race, if I'll go through that type of training again, the growth that came out of it was more rewarding than the suffering I went through. What are your thoughts?
I'm just looking up the definition of suffering. So we're saying we're going to do something, and are we willing to
Be uncomfortable. Are you
yeah,
willing
I don't
to
want to say
suffer for it?
sacrifice, but are willing to get out of our
There
comfort
is,
zone?
but there is some sacrifice there.
Sure there is.
There is sacrifice because I had to get up sometimes at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to
Mhm.
go get my training in. So that meant the night before, I couldn't go out with friends. I couldn't like have a glass of wine. I couldn't do all of this like stuff. And I had to go to bed early
Mhm.
because I had to get a proper amount of sleep to get up to go do these things. So there
Okay,
is sacrifice.
but I'm going to be devil's advocate here. Is it
Oh, I love that.
sacrifice if it is what you're meant to do? You're going, I'm going to do this. So if this is what I'm wanting to achieve, why would I look at it as a sacrifice? Why wouldn't I look at it as it more of me getting to where I want to achieve, or getting the
Right.
results I want? So when we use those words sacrifice, then we've already turned it into a negative.
And that's
Suffering.
what I'm saying. That's what saying. You're correct. I never used the word sacrifice in my training, but people do.
So it's
You are
supposed to be a
correct.
way of life then,
Right.
at a particular time. Here's my
Right.
goal. I'm going to
Yep.
do this race. And
Hmm.
for the next um, X amount of time, this is the way my life will be. And I don't think of it as a negative. I only think of it as a positive. Oh, I got to get up early in the morning. Great. That means
Yep.
I'm going to get extra time. And, I don't have that mindset. So that's why I'm
But
saying
no, but you
devil's
don't.
advocate, because I'm
Okay,
just trying to, you know,
but
I'm
you
thinking of
do.
the sports athletes that do
Right.
that,
Right.
right?
Right.
And they just
But Tracy
go.
G, you do have that mindset, but you don't have it for running an ultra marathon. But
Right.
when there's something you really want
Mhm, mhm.
and there is a sacrifice or I'm sorry, I take that word back. Or if there is a thing that you have to do differently to get to what you want, you're motivated to do it.
Mhm. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Right. So, so what did you find for the definition of supper?
Um, Suffering is the state of having a lack of something that is necessary or essential. Um, so suffering might be a bit too strong in terms of, what you have to give up. But no matter what it is, whether it's something like doing an ultra marathon, or whether it's I need to lose the next 10 pounds or I need to whatever, you have to become something different than what you are right now in order to obtain that goal. Therefore, you have to shed things that you currently enjoy, like, want, desire in order to get to that end result. So the question, I think, is how willing are you to be in a state of discomfort and to give up and say, yes, I have to shed all of these things in order to get to this goal. Am I willing to do that? Because you have to know that in advance. I mean, there's always going to be stuff that'll come up as you're going towards your goal, but you have to look at your goal at the very beginning and say, okay, who do I have to be to get that?
Yep.
Because it's not who you are.
No,
Right. Right.
because you wouldn't want it then.
Well, you would
Like
Well, I'm
already
just
have
saying
it,
if
you
probably,
would have it.
right?
You mean
Yeah.
right, you'd have it.
So
That's right.
if my
That's what I
night
meant.
is
be willing
Netflix
to.
and chips and I want to
Right.
do this, I have to be
Uh,
a different person that doesn't sit there and watch Netflix and eat chips, right? I have to be
right.
this person,
Exactly.
Exactly.
which is
But
not
Exactly.
then,
me. I love the word shed. I love the word shed.
Yes, I love that. I like that. I like that better than sacrifice, and I like that better than I don't like the word suffering at all because I grew so much from that. So it's more of, in fact, I was just talking to somebody on this, is more becoming comfortable with uncomfortable.
And believing that were going to be an ultra runner. You were
Yeah,
going to be a different person. You were no longer
yes,
Michelle, the non-ultra runner. You were now
right,
Michelle, the ultra runner, and whatever
right.
you had to do to become that.
Yes, yes, you are
but the
correct.
thing is that it doesn't really matter whether it's something as like so outside your box, like I'm
Mhm.
going to become an ultra
Right.
runner, or
Mhm.
whether or not it's something as simple as I'm going to lose 5 pounds or 10 pounds. You
Mhm.
have to become something different than what you currently are right now in
Or
order for you
Tracy
to get to
East,
where it is that you're going to go.
something as simple as being on the treadmill every day for 30 days straight.
Mhm.
Oh, why? Is that what Tracy's doing?
No, that's what she did.
Oh,
We
right. Yeah,
did,
yeah, yeah.
and she did, and her commitment was she would let me know she did it. And there were times when she did it, it was 10 o'clock at night. I would get a check mark, like it's completed. But she had to be a different person. She
Mhm.
had to shed some of her beliefs, uncomfortableness, tiredness, like, who cares?
Excuses.
Eh, excuses, yes.
Shed the excuses, right?
Right.
And the thing is that it's easy to do when you're sitting there in front of your goal, when you're feeling good, you're
Mhm.
feeling motivated. What you have to think about is how am I going to handle this when I don't feel motivated, when I've had a terrible day, when my world has been turned upside down? When I
Yep.
really don't feel like doing this at all, what am I going to do? How am I going to handle that moment in
Yep.
order to be able to say,
Right.
I'm not going to sit and eat chips and watch Netflix. I'm not doing it.
Right.
Even though I've done that my whole life, that's been my emotional security blanket when things have gone wrong. I have to do something different. What's that going to be? Again, shedding your
Yep.
old self. You're literally shedding your old self.
I think
Yep.
another thing that would be kind of interesting in this topic is relationships. So I'm a great friend, or so I think. But am I doing what a great friend does? Maybe checking in on my friends once a week, maybe, making sure I touch base. So now I have to shed um, how am with my friends and create, and again, reaching out to your friends and relationships takes effort. You have to do those touches. You have to talk to them. You have to, see how they're doing. You might have to be the crying shoulder or something like that. And you might think you're a good friend, but when you actually look and go, am I the friend I want to be? I've got to shed who I am now and be this person that is out of my comfort zone because I'm not saying me personally, but because maybe I'm lazy and I got to I got to text, I got to check in. I'll check in next week. So
Mhm.
I see it even on like a really small level of just how you react with people around you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to take the word suffering and throw that out. We're going to take the word sacrifice and throw that out. But I love the word shedding.
So
I
then
like
the
that.
question is, what are you willing to shed
Shed.
in order
Yeah.
to get what it is that you want? Are
Right.
you willing to do it?
Yes. And of course, again, like you said, Tracy E., it's very easy when you're doing your goals or doing whatever the stream is or whatever it is, and you're feeling good. It's very easy to say, yep, I got it, this and that. It is trying to think about all the block barriers that you're going to hit. When I'm
Mhm.
tired, I don't want to get up early. Oh my God, we're going out to eat again. I'm trying to lose this weight again. I have to, well, I had a bad week. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to have, you know,
Yeah.
3 orders of French fries, whatever. So it isn't always, I think I would challenge that. It's easy to say, yes, I have it. Yes, I'm going to do it. Then think about what are going to be some of those barriers and roadblocks you're going to have, and what are you going to put into place? What promise are you going to make to yourself when
Mhm.
you don't want to get out of bed? Is it you put the alarm clock across the room so you can't get to it? Is it you turn on when the alarm clock goes and you get up and you turn on the lights so it's no longer dark? Is your clothes out there? Like, what can you do to help diminish the barriers that are going to hit you? Because they're going to hit you.
Mhm.
I don't care what your goal is. I don't
Mhm.
care what it is. You're going to have barriers,
Yeah.
whether it's saving money, paying off credit cards, buying a new house, starting a business, losing weight, going to college, getting a new job, getting
Mhm.
married, getting divorced, finding like whatever it is, going to be a barrier.
But doesn't that tie into what we always talk about, the why,
Yeah.
right? Like you got
Yep.
to go back even further.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Critical to know that.
yes,
Why you're
it
doing it.
is.
Critical to know
Why?
that. Yeah.
And it's not, Tracy E. and I have worked this with clients many times. It's not a one answer why.
Yeah.
You
No.
ask that, then why is that one important? When you get that, you ask why that is
Yeah.
important. And then you end up deep down where it is. And when you dig deep, that's when you find that desire more
Yeah.
so. Yeah. And I don't think it has anything to do with motivation either.
Oh no, motivation happens after the act. It's after you've been to the gym, do you feel motivated? After the run, do you feel motivated? After, eating clean all day, do you feel motivated? You don't feel
Yep.
motivated before. I mean,
Mhm.
unfortunately, that would be so great if that happened, eh? I'm motivated
Yeah.
to get out there and go to the gym. Let's go. Woo. It's like, no,
Well, you
you
might
drag
have
our
that.
asses.
You might have that for a couple days, but
Mhm.
then it
At
goes
the
away.
beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It goes away. It
Yeah.
fades
Very
very
quickly.
quickly.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly. So yeah, it is what are you willing to shed or put in place? And sitting there and writing it out at the end of the day, just saying, gee, how did I do today? And here's the thing, if it sucked, that's what you should write. It sucked today. I struggled because of this, this, and this. And people think because they struggled, they can't do it. So let's just give up. When you write out and talk about, I struggled because of this, you're already finding a solution.
Mhm.
You don't even realize it. When
Mhm.
you write it out and you look at it, and then right underneath say, well, what can I do one little thing different tomorrow so that won't happen again? People take it as, I can't do it. I didn't do good today. So I'm calling it quits. And we need to take that as a sign as, nope, we just need to tweak something. Let's tweak it and move forward again.
And the honesty factor to do that with
Hmm.
yourself,
Yeah.
right? Because it's so easy just to kind of put the blinders on and not even ask the question in order to figure that part out.
And here's the thing, you're only having the conversation with yourself. You
I
don't have
know,
to
but
show it to
sometimes
anybody.
those are the hardest, aren't
I
they?
don't.
But don't you think it's our expectations? It's like
Yep.
when they say about building a house, like it's twice the budget and all this, like
Yep.
what you think is going to happen and what actually happens. And I think our expectation, and I think, not to, the social media and all that, because everything's instant, but I think our expectation is, I got this. I can do this and I'm going to do it. And it's going to be pretty easy. Yeah, I know there'll be
Yep.
challenges, but I can push through it. And then you get a challenge, you go, well, this is hard work. Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think this is a really good topic, especially towards the end of the year, because everyone's getting ready for the 2025. Like we've talked about in many past episodes that January 1st, and you set all these high expectations for yourself, and then we don't either follow through or whatever happens to it, or it's not the way we thought it would be, or we're going to go to the gym with your buddy and your buddy blows you off for the week and then you don't want to go alone anymore and all these things. And the why is most important. What is those that, think of shedding. Don't think of it like, oh, can't go out with friends tonight. I have to get up at 3 in the morning to go for a run. Well, yeah, maybe you can't go out tonight, but did you ask him for another night? Like, you could ask him to go out on another night. You don't have to get up at 3 in the morning. Like, we just take what is and make an excuse, like you said. I think this is a really good topic.
Mhm. And to recognize that no matter what that goal is that you're going to do, it will be hard.
Mm.
Hmm.
No question about it. It's going to be hard.
But don't you
Yeah,
think everyone talks about everything being easy?
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that's it.
and like and
Everybody
it's
does.
like,
It's like,
you want to start a business? Oh, you'll be raking in the millions. You want to lose weight? Oh, you do this 3 steps and you'll do it. Like, I think we're being pushed out that everything is easy and it's not supposed to be. Because we've
no.
said it before that everyone would be doing it.
Yeah.
right. Yep. Yes, everybody would. So, what is hard for you? Like, what do you struggle with? Do you look at, when you set a goal, do you look at the changes you have to make as a sacrifice, as a struggle, as I said sacrifice, or do you think you can look at it like Tracy said, as shedding something? What is something maybe that you struggle with when you hit a barrier? Put it in the comments so we can help you um, through that. Share this with somebody that you think would benefit from this. If this um, episode resonated with you, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you hit notifications so you know when our next episode is out. Until next time.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.